This romantic rich second generation was surprised that his female companion was still a virgin, and he even blamed the girl for not telling him earlier. The two haven't known each other for long, and he has been in society for so many years. He never thought that there were still virgins in this world. What made him feel even more incredible was that this kind of best product really let himself encounter it. I don't know if it's joy or sadness for him. It turned out that just a week ago, Lee Xin accidentally found a photo at a good buddy's house. A girl in the photo managed to catch his attention, and this girl allowed him to expose his romantic nature. He asked his good buddy to invite Zhang Xiaofan to dinner on the spot. On the day of the meal, in order to show his gentlemanly demeanor, he asked the girl to order whatever she wanted. Zhang Xiaofan casually said, "Whatever," and Lee Xin said to give her a dish called casual. The waiter said, "Sir, I'm sorry, we didn't do this casually." This humorous look made Zhang Xiaofan unable to close his mouth, and he was even a little embarrassed. Not only that, Lee Xin, the young master, also turned into a waiter and made a special trip to serve Zhang Xiaofan. After lunch, the good buddy saw that the weather was good, so he proposed to climb the mountain. Lee Xin was the first to vote against. Finally met the girl he was longing for. Of course he wanted to fight for one. Had the opportunity to get along with Zhang Xiaofan alone, so he proposed to send Zhang Xiaofan home. But Zhao Yada was well informed, and at first glance Lee Xin was a central air conditioner, and she was more or less worried about who was warm. But at this time, she had already fallen in love with Lee Xin's buddy. How could she miss this opportunity to be alone with Wenhao? So after she told Lee Xin to take care of Xiaofan, she left with Wenhao. As a rich second generation, sports cars are Lee Xin's standard equipment, and this charming red sports car does not know how many women have been fascinated. Zhang Xiaofan, who has an average family background, is also the first time to ride such a high-end car. After getting in the car, he performed a big transformation for Zhang Xiaofan, which really stunned her. After arriving at the destination, Lee Xin asked Zhang Xiaofan if he could ask her alone in the future. For example, going out to a movie or concert. Zhang Xiaofan shyly said that he really hadn't seen the concert. Lee Xin smiled knowingly, and handed over his mobile phone in the coolest posture, asking Zhang Xiaofan to leave her contact information. During this period, he came up with a crooked idea again, but unfortunately he did not succeed. Zhang Xiaofan said, "What are you going to do?" Lee Xin said, "A breakup gift that is not in the way." Xiaofan said, "Lee Xin, I am not a casual person." Lee Xin said, "I know you are just a casual person." After so many years, not to mention anything else, he coaxed the girl's technique. He was one after another. On this day, Zhang Xiaofan was shopping and fell in love with a bright red dress. The waiter told her that she could try it if she liked it. When she saw the tag, she asked for nearly a month's salary, so Xiaofan put her skirt back. Unexpectedly, Lee Xin suddenly came over at this time, and deliberately pretended to meet by chance, pretending to say hello to Xiaofan. He told Xiaofan that the red dress was beautiful and asked her to try it. Xiaofan had no choice but to agree. Unexpectedly, while she was trying on clothes, Lee Xin left after paying the bill. Xiaofan wanted to return the skirt when she saw this, but the waiter told her that she could not return it without quality problems. Then she hurriedly chased after her with her things. Seeing Lee Xin, Xiaofan was about to return the money for the skirt to him, but Lee Xin was not happy. He said, "I like you quite a bit, so I am willing to spend money on you. Whether you want it or not is your business. If you really don't want to accept it, you can throw it away later. But whether to give it or not is my business." Lee Xin continued, "You don't have to be polite to me at all. Now I'm chasing you, I'll buy you something, isn't that what it should be?" Not only that, when the two were shopping, Zhang Xiaofan just glanced at the tag of the brand name bag, and Lee Xin immediately asked the waiter to give it to him. "I took a new package and picked it up. You must know that 19,000 is a lot of money for Zhang Xiaofan, an ordinary family, but for Lee Xin, a young man, it is a piece of cake." Zhang Xiaofan admitted that he didn't really like this bag that much. Lee Xin said arrogantly, "If you don't like it, you can throw it away. There is a principle when going out with young Master Lee, you can have nothing else, you must have face." Zhang Xiaofan was very upset. After all, she and Lee Xin had only met twice. However, the reason why the rich second generation can become the rich second generation is because they know how to invest better than others. So if he offered to have dinner with Zhang Xiaofan at this time, then she would definitely not refuse. Sure enough, as soon as he heard Lee Xin let himself treat him to a meal to express his gratitude, Zhang Xiaofan immediately agreed. Then the two came to a high-end hotel. In order to achieve the goal, Lee Xin also specially ordered a bottle of 82-year-old Lafite. But Zhang Xiaofan has never seen the world, she doesn't even drink milk tea much, not to mention red wine. So she told Lee Xin that she couldn't drink. Lee Xin said, "Aren't you worried about not being able to find a job recently? Maybe after drinking this cup, you can find a satisfactory job tomorrow." How can the simple Xiaofan withstand his fooling like this? She picked up her glass and frowned and drank it all in one gulp. Then Li Xian used the excuse that the last wine is fugen to pour a large glass for Zhang Xiaofan. After a few glasses of wine, Zhang Xiaofan was on it after a while. Perhaps she was used to being a good girl, and this drunken feeling made her feel very indulgent because just when Li Xian offered to send her home, she refused. She told Li Xian that she didn't want to go home and continue to drink. Helplessly, Li Xian took Zhang Xiaofan to his secret base. He told Zhang Xiaofan this was the first time he had brought a girl to his favorite place. Then he turned on the big flickering mode. You are beautiful, thrillingly beautiful. But because of this, others will forget to understand your inner self and your thoughts. But I can see. Other men are chasing you. It's just to show their taste. I also feel sorry for you. I have to say that this passage really touched Zhang Xiaofan. Under Li Xian's fooling, Zhang Xiaofan drank one glass after another, and it wasn't until she opened her eyes the next day that she found herself lying on Li Xian's bed. Falling in love with this university, she got a certificate of completion in less than a day. She looked at Li Xian aggrievely, and tears fell as she looked at it. Because she knew that Li Xian was a famous playboy. Zhang Xiaofan said, "You won't deceive me, will you?" Li Xian said, "How could I lie to you? I think this is what you want to do, don't make it look like I raped you, okay?" Hearing this, she cried louder and louder, as if she would be dumped by him when she went out. Seeing Zhang Xiaofan crying endlessly, Li Xian muttered in his heart, "What a big deal, could it be that you are still a virgin?" Seeing Zhang Xiaofan looking at him innocently, Li Xian lifted the quilt and took a look, and really let himself be right. After the incident, he also blamed the woman for not telling him immediately. He got cheap and sold well, he was really the best among scumbags. But looking at Xiaofan's pitiful appearance, he couldn't bear it again. So he apologized to Xiaofan for the first time. "Since you gave me the first time, I will not let you down." Zhang Xiaofan said, "But I don't believe you." Li Xian said, "Then I swear, I will be good to you and make you happy." Xiaofan, who had never been in love, simply thought that from now on she and Li Xian would be boyfriend and girlfriend. But since that night, Li Xian has never called Xiaofan again. As a playboy, he swears more every day than he eats. So when he went out, Li Xian left his promise behind. Not only that, but he also used this matter as capital to show off with his buddies. But not every man has a conscience like Li Xian. The buddy could see that Zhang Xiaofan was a good girl, and advised Li Xian not to play with Zhang Xiaofan's feelings. Li Xian said, "What are you kidding? I just said that I don't know how to write the word responsibility." Unable to wait for Li Xian's call, Zhang Xiaofan took the initiative to call him. But Li Xian, who received the call, was a little impatient, and he asked Zhang Xiaofan what was wrong and what was wrong. Zhang Xiaofan also told Li Xian unabashedly, "I miss you, I want to hear your voice." But Li Xian was only perfunctory about this. Then Zhang Xiaofan proposed. She wanted to go shopping with Li Xian. After meeting, Zhang Xiaofan asked Li Xian why he didn't call him, and Li Xian casually found a reason to fool him. Zhang Xiaofan was a little anxious and asked Li Xian if he was particularly reluctant to be with him. Seeing that Zhang Xiaofan was really angry, Li Xian offered to take her to a movie to make her happy. The simple Xiaofan is so easy to coax, and a movie immediately makes her smile. But after watching the movie, Xiaofan became even more angry because Li Xian slept from beginning to end. This made Xiaofan clearly feel that Li Xian was perfunctory to himself. Zhang Xiaofan said, "I want to know if you are sincere to me." Li Xian can't write the word responsibility, let alone the word sincerity. Zhang Xiaofan cautiously confirmed to Li Xian, is she his girlfriend himself, and are the two in love? These questions once made Li Xian feel crazy. Hearing that Zhang Xiaofan was going to take him to see her parents, Li Xian couldn't hold back at all. "Why do you want to see your father and mother?" Zhang Xiaofan said, "I want them to know I am in love with you, and I am in love on the premise of marriage." Li Xian said, "Are you crazy, Zhang Xiaofan? Who is going to marry you? If I knew that I would marry you if I slept with you for one night, then I wouldn't do it to death. Let a playboy marry, it is better to kill him." Then he threw down Zhang Xiaofan and left without looking back. In Zhang Xiaofan's eyes, falling in love is to get married, and she doesn't know what she has done wrong. The next day, Li Xian called Xiaofan again. He asked her to meet. Xiaofan thought that Li Xian had finally figured it out, but he didn't expect to wait for the news that Li Xian was going to break up with her. Li Xian said, "Xiaofan, you just think I'm sorry for you. Whatever compensation you want, you just open your mouth. I can promise you in addition to getting married." After the girl was taken away for the first time by the rich second generation, she was ruthlessly abandoned. She stroked the white sheets, and there was a sudden trace of reluctance and unwillingness in her heart. She called her best girlfriend. She said all her hatred for the men, and told her best friend that she would not forgive him even if she died. She said, I think where you start, you should end there. After saying that, Zhang Xiaofan hung up the phone and threw his phone into the pool. My girlfriend heard Zhang Xiaofan's abnormality, so she immediately called Li Xian's good buddy and asked Li Xian and Xiaofan for the first time they opened a house. Fortunately, a few girlfriends arrived in time and stopped her. Then Daming called Li Xian and scolded him. See you by the moat in 20 minutes. If we can't see you, let's not be brothers, do you listen? As soon as they met, her girlfriend slapped Li Xian and angrily reprimanded him for being a playboy who only played with other people's feelings. But Li Xian didn't think so at all. Xiaofan was completely desperate, crying and telling Li Xian that he would be with him in the future. Soon Li Xian's retribution came. When he got home in the evening, his father scolded him, saying that he was unrestrained in spending money, that he would stop all his bank cards, and that he would only give him 3,000 yuan in pocket money every month. How could there be 300,000 a month before? Now the 3,000 yuan is not even enough for gas, let alone nightclubs and picking up girls. On this day, he asked the girl to go shopping again, and the girl took a fancy to a bag and asked him to pay for it. Hearing that Li Xian couldn't even afford a bag, the girl turned her face and called the boss who liked her, and did not forget to give him a roll before leaving. The reality of this woman opened Li Xian's eyes and made him feel frustrated for the first time. Compared with these women, he suddenly felt that Xiaofan was not bad. When I got home at night, Li Xian cried to her mother that the days without money to spend were uncomfortable. His mother told him that if he wanted to make his father happy, he should start a family early. Li Xian said, you said that if I get married, can my dad give me money? The mother said, which old man doesn't want to hug his grandson quickly? With my mother's guidance, Li Xian instantly had an idea. So the next day, he showed up at Xiaofan's door with flowers. This time he came specifically to apologize to Xiaofan. But today's Xiaofan is no longer yesterday's Xiaofan. She took Li Xian's flowers. She threw it straight into the trash can. Li Xian didn't give up and chased after him again at night. This time he wore a suit, and he told Xiaofan that he was here to propose today. But what made Xiaofan angry was that Li Xian didn't even bring a proposal ring. Zhang Xiaofan said, didn't you say that you are very sincere, Li Xian? Do you see that our small family is easy to bully, so you bully me and insult me in different ways? After saying that, Xiaofan left without looking back. After eating behind closed doors twice, Li Xian, the eldest young master, lost patience for a while. But how can a wounded heart be easily soothed? What's more, Xiaofan almost lost his life for him. So she didn't want to repeat the same mistakes anyway. Helplessly, Li Xian could only find his mother for help. He told his mother with a serious face, I will not marry Zhang Xiaofan in this life. The son, who has always been cynical, suddenly became so serious, and the mother couldn't believe it. Then she heard that Xiaofan gave it to her son for the first time, and she didn't want her son's money, so she immediately told her son that she would take care of it. The next day, she directly found Xiaofan's parents, told Xiaofan's parents the ins and outs of the two children, and expressed her attitude on the spot. My husband is in business, so let's do it averagely. Well, he is the boss of a listed company. If Xiaofan marries into our family, he will definitely not let her suffer, but only let her enjoy happiness. In order to show her sincerity, she even came up with the style of a rich man. I saw her take out a golden rabbit from her bag. Seeing this, Xiaofan's mother quickly stretched out her hand to take it. Judging from her almost unsteady movements, this should be pure gold. With this golden rabbit in charge, Xiaofan's mother expressed her approval of the marriage between the two on the spot. Then when sending Li Xian's mother away, she wanted to make the other party like a bodhisattva, but couldn't wait to call her in-law. Aunt Jean walked slowly. Li Xian's mother said, oh, mother-in-law, you are too polite. After Xiaofan knew that his mother had made a decision for him without authorization, he was angry. Mom, he is a playboy. The mother said, you and your eldest brother used inappropriate words. What happened to playboy? Playboy, he spends all the rich people. As long as he spends the money on you, you are the last stop, and he will be. His mother's words made Zhang Xiaofan feel suffocated. It turns out that in the eyes of my mother, marrying a rich person is more important than my own happiness. Zhang Xiaofan said, Mom, just a golden rabbit smashed you. You just sold me like this. But no matter how much Xiaofan objected, his mother insisted on letting Xiaofan marry him. This made Xiaofan disheartened, so he left sadly. Then she found her best friend to confide in her unhappiness. Unexpectedly, at this moment, Xiaofan suddenly felt a burst of vomiting. When I went to the hospital for a checkup, I found out that I was pregnant. Seeing this, the rat persuaded her, since you have a child, just marry him. When she turned her face to look at her best friend, my girlfriend also chose the default. Then the mouse called Li Xian. As soon as she heard that the Li family finally had a queen, Li Xian's mother was so happy that she couldn't close her mouth. Finally, with the help of his friends, Xiaofan finally decided to marry Li Xian. The time soon came to the wedding day. But just before the wedding started, everyone found that Li Xian was missing. Today was a woman's happy day, but just before the wedding began, the groom disappeared. Zhang Xiaofan anxiously searched everywhere, but he didn't expect it to be in a corner. So a scene that pierced her heart. Seeing the two pulling and pulling, Xiaofan's heart was very uncomfortable. She angrily asked Li Xian who this woman was. The woman said, "Who is she?" "You are the bride, right? I'm here for a wedding. He used to say if he wants to get married, he will marry me. Now that he is married and the bride is not me, should I come and see it?" In this regard, Li Xian said unabashedly that the two used to be good, but now they have nothing to do with each other. The woman said, "He just came to ask for a breakup fee this time." Breakup fee? The woman was actually invited to the wedding. Zhang Xiaofan said, "Li Xian, you bastard." After saying that, Xiaofan ran away sadly. A good wedding came like this. Li Xian's father's face changed greatly, and he couldn't help but fight Li Xian, but fortunately he was stopped by Li Xian's brother. What's even more infuriating is that things have come to this point, and Li Xian's mother is still protecting the calf. She asked Li Xian, "Is that woman pestering you? Did she chase her here?" In the process, he kept winking at his son. Li Xian received a signal from his mother. He began to defend himself and abruptly said that he was a defendant to a plaintiff. The mother did not forget to add a sentence at this time, "Our Xin is also a victim, and we all blame that woman is not a thing." It is said that there are many losers and loving mothers, and it is not difficult to see. The reason why Li Xian has been picking up girls and nightclubs all day long has nothing to do with his mother. Then she asked her son to swear in front of everyone that he would never associate with a woman in the future. Seeing this, Xiaofan's mother also advised her daughter to be generous again. The kind Xiaofan didn't want to ruin everyone's interest, so he bit the bullet and attended the wedding. But at this romantic moment, she couldn't laugh at all, because she didn't know whether her decision was right or wrong. Perhaps she had anticipated her unhappy life after marriage at this time. With her "I do," the two officially became husband and wife. But Xiaofan never expected that his misfortune would come so quickly. On the night that was supposed to be the night of the bridal chamber, she was alone in the empty room. So what exactly does marriage bring to women? It brings loneliness, anxiety, endless waiting, but it does not bring happiness. Xiaofan called Li Xian with a glimmer of hope, but only heard the cold sentence, "The call you made went unanswered." At this time, Li Xian was spending all day drinking with his friends, completely forgetting that he was married. By the time he came back, it was already the second half of the night. As soon as they met, Xiaofan impatiently threw the remote control on the ground. Unexpectedly, Li Xian saw this. Not only did he not give Xiaofan any comfort, but he also asked her what she was going to do. Xiaofan was very disappointed. She didn't expect Li Xian to have this attitude. She asked Li Xian what time it was and if she knew what day it was today. However, Li Xian looked indifferent. "My mother doesn't care about me. Why do you care about me? Is it that you are confident that you will get a marriage certificate?" Xiaofan said, "Is there such a bully as you?" Xiaofan accused Li Xian of not letting himself be alone in the empty room on the night of their wedding, but Li Xian impatiently disliked it. Xiaofan manages more than. At this moment, Li Xian's mother was attracted by the quarrel between the two. When she came up, she accused her daughter-in-law of quarreling on her wedding night. After learning the reason for the quarrel between the two, he also defended his son everywhere. Daming and Wenhao are his best friends. He didn't go to accompany those messy people. In her eyes, no one can be at fault with her son. Seeing her mother-in-law's attitude, Xiaofan was so angry that she couldn't say a word. The next day, Xiaofan was ready to go downstairs for breakfast. Before she could move her chopsticks, her mother-in-law asked about her son. Xiaofan told her mother-in-law Li Xian to sleep upstairs. Unexpectedly, the mother-in-law said, "Her son is sleeping upstairs, why do you come down to have breakfast by yourself?" Xiaofan was stunned there for a while, and then explained that Li Xian couldn't shout because he slept too late yesterday. The mother-in-law said, "If you can't shout, you have to shout. Why does the baby come back so late every night?" Xiaofan said, "I don't know about this." The mother-in-law said, "You don't know. You are the only wife, and you don't care if your husband comes back so late every night." "Just kidding." Xiaofan said, "You have been a mother for more than 20 years, isn't it also this dead look? The two have only been married for a day, what can Xiaofan do with him?" Then the mother-in-law accused Xiaofan of not knowing how to feel sorry for her son with a disgusted face, and ordered Xiaofan to call him now. Xiaofan did not refute, so he went upstairs obediently. Then Xiaofan found his mother and told him about the unhappiness after marriage. But in her mother's eyes, she felt that Xiaofan was married very beautifully. Speaking of her mother-in-law, she was looking for her everywhere, but her mother asked Xiaofan to endure it and learn how to get along with her mother-in-law and daughter-in-law until they sit firmly in their home. Mother said, "Your position has been consolidated, and your father and I can get in touch." On the second day of marriage, Xiaofan's mother wanted her to tell her father-in-law to invest in a taxi company for their second elder. First, Xiaofan just married in and she is pregnant, so she must have the confidence to speak. Second, in this way, their two elders have no worries. This made Xiaofan not know what to do. At night, Xiaofan watched TV boredly and waited for Li Xian, but Li Xian did not come back and the call was still unanswered. Xiaofan couldn't bear it anymore and was about to go downstairs to find him, but he didn't expect to run into his mother-in-law. Xiaofan said, "Mom, Li Xian hasn't come back yet." The mother-in-law said, "Xiaofan, this man, it is not easy to socialize outside, do you know? We are women. Learn to understand and support their work." Xiaofan told her that Li Xian obviously had no job. And her mother-in-law relied on Xiaofan's simplicity to tell her that many businesses were negotiated through eating and drinking. On the surface, the son looks like he eats, drinks and has fun all day long, but in fact he is looking for projects. It's also very tiring. After saying that, he coaxed Xiaofan upstairs on the grounds that the baby in his belly was sleepy. After seeing Xiaofan leave, she immediately changed her face. "How many days have you been married?" At this time, Li Xian's nightlife had just begun. "I saw him jumping with the beautiful woman with a happy face, completely forgetting his identity as a married man. After he was tired, he called his good brother over to drink with him. At this time, looking at the woman next to his good brother, he had another idea. Then he pointed out the wedding ring and put it in his pocket. By the time he went home, he was already drunk and unconscious, and the ring happened to fall out of his trouser pocket. In the days that followed, Li Xian spent all day drinking outside every night, and since Xiaofan got married, he never experienced the same warmth as before marriage, instead of every lonely and unbearable night. Gradually, Xiaofan also got used to the days when no one was accompanying him. Until this day, she accidentally saw an ambiguous text message from Yuan on Li Xian's mobile phone, and she couldn't bear it anymore. Xiaofan said, "Li Xian, I have endured you for a long time. I have tolerated you again and again, and I think that as long as I am good to you, I may be able to influence you. You will treat me just as well. But now that you think about it, what have you done? Rather than being a wife, it is better to say that I am an employee hired by Li Xian, and my duty is to wear a diamond ring and conceive a child to give the Li family face." She accused Li Xian of not taking her seriously and being pregnant, but he still had to think about running out every day. Li Xian didn't take it seriously. He impatiently said that he had changed a lot now. He used to go home in the morning, but now he came back before 3 o'clock in the morning. "What else do you want?" Not only that, but he also accused Xiaofan of not snooping on his text messages. Xiaofan said, "I didn't peek." Li Xian said, "You have a peek." Xiaofan said, "I don't need to peek, your mobile phone is here, the account number is on it, don't hold it with your hands." Li Xian said, "Then your wife. Let me tell you, don't think that if you get married, you will really become a warden, don't force me to escape from prison." The two kept arguing from upstairs to downstairs. The noise quickly aroused her mother-in-law's dissatisfaction, and she went up indiscriminately and began to talk about Xiaofan's faults. Her son married a daughter-in-law and was not at home every day, but she taught her daughter-in-law to think about why her husband didn't go home. The implication is that Xiaofan is not good enough and not charming enough. Zhang Xiaofan was very aggrieved, but she soon discovered the true face of this mother-in-law, that is, the master of calf protectors. The mother-in-law said, "Don't think that you married with grievances, and don't think that you are pregnant, you can be domineering in our family. I also tell you, if our old Li family wants to hold their grandchildren," the girl in line had. "Our Li Xian is not good at this or that, you don't have to marry. Since you are married, you should think about how to win your husband's heart, right? You must know that when Li Xian was arguing about marrying Xiaofan, she was a mother, but she personally took a 24K golden rabbit to pay for a smile before asking for it. Now that Xiaofan has entered the door, she has changed her face again, saying that the reason why she was willing to marry her into the door was because she felt that she was not the kind of girl who was greedy for material things. She asked Xiaofan not to think that she could be domineering in this family when she was pregnant. After all, if the old Li family wanted to hold her grandson, the girls in line would. Xiaofan, who was bullied in her husband's house, returned to her parents' house, and her mother, who never thought about snobbery, too, it didn't give her any comfort. The mother said, "Then how could I know that their family will change their faces when they say they will change their faces? If you want to think about it, you don't have to go back. It's just right to follow this. Anyway, we are pregnant with their child in our belly, and it will be in a hurry, we'll know." Xiaofan went back to his parents' house in a fit of anger. Now the mother and son were worried, because if the head of the family, Laoli, found out about it, then their lives would not be easy. He had to take Xiaofan home before his father returned from a business trip. she came to apologize with something, she threw herself into the air. At this time, Xiaofan was talking to Yadong together. In the evening, I learned that my son didn't even see Xiaofan's face, and the mother-in-law finally couldn't sit still and decided to step in person. The next day, she pulled down her face and came to Xiaofan's house, and she no longer had the arrogant look she used to be. The mother-in-law said, "I know that our Xiaofan is kind, gentle, empathetic, and a good girl. Can you give our baby another chance?" Under his mother's persuasion, Xiaofan finally relented, and then followed his mother-in-law back home. Unexpectedly, as soon as she stepped into the door of the Li family, the nightmare played out again. The mother-in-law took out a preaching posture again, accusing Xiaofan of being too ignorant, running to her parents' house when she quarreled, and asked her, the mother-in-law, to come to the door to apologize. The Li family is a person with a head and face. She asked Xiaofan to think twice about whatever he did in the future. "Let me tell you, since you married into our Li family, you are a member of our Li family. I hope you don't do anything that will be embarrassing in the future. You have to do it again. Don't blame me for being rude to my mother-in-law." The husband doesn't love, the mother-in-law doesn't want to see him. Xiaofan lets his mother-in-law blame himself for not being right, but the bitter water can only be swallowed in his stomach. From this day on, her mother-in-law became more and more unpleasant to Xiaofan's eyes, and even a phone call had to be educated by her. Xiaofan, who had nowhere to vent, came to the mall to shop like crazy. Without love, at least there is money to accompany you. Unexpectedly, before she could recover, she suddenly received a call from a bar dancer, saying that Li Xian was drunk and sleeping in her house, and asked Xiaofan to come and get him away. Despite being mentally prepared, Xiaofan was still angry at the scene in front of him when he arrived. She picked up the cold water on the side and splashed it directly on Li Xian's face. Within a few days, the son was caught in bed by his daughter-in-law again. At this time, even this mother-in-law couldn't stand it, complaining that her son shouldn't be so careless, and felt that Xiaofan would definitely have to go back to her parents' house this time. Unexpectedly, early the next morning, Xiaofan came back by himself. The mother-in-law was surprised, but fortunately, she provoked Xiaofan's problem again, saying that she did not save face for her son and should not pour cold water on her son's face in front of outsiders. Xiaofan said, "Mom, according to what you said, he is looking for a woman outside. I still have to save face for him. Is this the rule of your Li family? Is this the upbringing of your Li family?" The mother-in-law said, "Are you done? Are you done with it?" Unexpectedly, when my mother-in-law heard this, she clapped her hands and immediately exploded. She felt that Xiaofan was educating her, so she accused her from above. "Don't think that if you are pregnant with the children of the Li family, you can be lawless in this family." The more she talked, the more she got upset, as if she had been wronged. Xiaofan looked at her mother-in-law's unreasonable appearance and felt extremely ridiculous. "Mom, I respect you, but from the first day I entered this house to now, have you thought about it for me a little from my point of view?" Xiaofan was disheartened and decided to end the marriage that had tormented her. After telling her girlfriend about this decision, she went to the hospital alone to prepare for an abortion. Just when she came to the door of the hospital, Yadong also arrived in time. She stopped Xiaofan and wanted to persuade her to think it over, but Xiaofan was completely desperate for this family. She can't even protect herself now, so what ability does she have to protect the child in her belly? No matter how Yadong persuaded him, Xiaofan still resolutely wanted to kill this child. However, when she came to the hospital, she was told that the surgery was now fully booked and would not be available until next week. But Xiaofan doesn't want to wait for a moment now. Xiaofan said, "I have to get rid of this child today. Sister, if the hospital can't do it for me today, I'll go to the outpatient clinic of the small hospital at the door to do it." Yadong said, "What are you talking about?" Xiaofan said, "Anyway, I have to do it today." "How disappointed do you have to be to make such a big determination?" Xiaofan's state made Yadong a little worried. After thinking about it again, she still informed Li Xian of the matter. Then the parents of both sides also came to the hospital. Seeing that Xiaofan's attitude was so determined, Li Xian and her mother-in-law began to apologize to Xiaofan in turn. The father-in-law of the head of the family made it clear that if anyone bullied Xiaofan again in the future, he would be kicked out. The mother-in-law also swore to Xiaofan that as long as the child was not aborted, then from now on, everything in the family would be decided by Xiaofan. Seeing that Xiaofan still did not waver, Li Xian also opened up, and he promised Xiaofan that he would never go out to play again. Xiaofan said, "How many times have you said 2 words? What guarantee do you take?" Li Xian said, "My dad said, from now on, my bank card will be in Xiaofan. I don't have any money on me, you let me go out and I will go out." "That's fine." After several people took turns persuading him, Xiaofan finally relented and decided to give them another chance. However, Xiaofan would never have thought that her generosity would not awaken Li Xian's conscience. After going back, he did hand over his property to Xiaofan as he promised, but he began to fight wits and courage every day, looking for various reasons to ask Xiaofan for money, and then still mingled in major nightclubs. Gradually, Xiaofan finally became suspicious. On this day, after Li Xian went out on the grounds of attending the funeral, she followed her best friend. Unexpectedly, he saw him fooling around in the bar with his own eyes. Xiaofan said, "I want to apply for a mobile positioning system for your mobile phone." Li Xian said, "What kind of thing?" Xiaofan said, "That means I want to know your exact location at all times. Women are trying to stop their husbands from spending their days outside, require a location system on their mobile phones." Li Xian not only did not resist this, but also accepted it very readily, because he had his own countermeasures. The next day, under Xiaofan's supervision, he went to the business hall to personally install the location of the mobile phone, and told Xiaofan that he would in the future honestly went to work in his father's company, which made Xiaofan very proud. As everyone knows, as soon as the two separated on the front foot, Li Xian sang a song with the beauty on the back foot. It turned out that in order to avoid being discovered by Xiaofan, he deliberately drove the car to his father's company and also left the phone in the car. When Xiaofan checked the positioning here, he naturally saw Li Xian's obedient side of work. Then Xiaofan called to check the post, and he said that he would work overtime tonight on the grounds of sending customers. Hung up the phone, and he began to let himself go. I played until the second half of the night before going home. With the excuse of going to work, Li Xian thought that he had finally gotten rid of Xiaofan's constraints and no longer had to go out of trouble to make up various reasons. Unexpectedly, soon after, Xiaofan became suspicious again. After Li Xian went to work that day, Xiaofan called the company's front desk. "Hello, I'll find Li Xian." The front desk said, "Who?" "Li Xian." Xiaofan said, "Yes, Mr. Li's son, which office is he in?" The front desk said, Li Xian doesn't work in the company. "Mr. Li is here, do you need me to transfer it for you?" Looking at the positioning on the mobile phone, Xiaofan's face turned green with anger. However, in the evening, as soon as Li Xian, who knew nothing, came home, he pretended to be very tired and said that he would pick up people at the airport, but the plane was delayed by 4 hours. Unexpectedly, the lie was exposed by Xiaofan on the spot. She told Li Xian that she already knew what he was doing behind his back and asked him to stop making up stories. It's just that Xiaofan has long been numb to Li Xian's deception again and again, so this time she chose to turn a blind eye. As long as he didn't see it, he wouldn't care about Li Xian. Until midnight that day, she suddenly received a call from her parents, saying that her father had accidentally hit someone and needed 80,000 yuan in medical expenses. After hanging up the phone, Xiaofan was about to go to the hospital to see the situation, but unexpectedly she was pregnant by her mother-in-law. He stopped on the grounds that he should take good care of the fetus. Xiaofan was very puzzled. His father is in the hospital now, and now she, as a daughter, can't even take a look. However, the mother-in-law still kept saying that Xiaofan was pregnant with a child now, and she should be responsible for their Li family, responsible for her son. Xiaofan said, "You are too ruthless, too selfish." After saying that, Xiaofan was about to walk out the door, but her mother-in-law hugged her tightly and refused to let go. Xiaofan couldn't bear it anymore, turned around, and picked up a photo frame, threatening her mother-in-law. If she is not allowed to go out now, then she will immediately abort the child in her belly. The mother-in-law saw that Xiaofan wanted to move the real character, so she reluctantly compromised. But 80,000 yuan is not a small amount, and the parents have no savings in their hands, so this matter naturally fell on Xiaofan's head. She clearly remembers that she received 500,000 yuan when she got married. However, when she went to her mother-in-law to ask for money, she learned that the money had reached Li Xian's hands. Xiaofan felt bad and went to the bank early the next morning to check Li Xian's bank statement. "I really don't know if I don't check," and I was shocked when I checked. It only took Li Xian half a month to make the 500,000 to 50,000. The consumption record is even more surprising. The money is basically spent in major nightclubs, ranging from 2 or 3,000 to 2 or 3,000, and as much as 20 or 30,000. There are even luxury stores, designer stores, and cosmetics counters. Xiaofan said, "Divorce, I have to divorce him." My girlfriend said, "Xiaofan, this money is not necessarily spent on women." Xiaofan said, "Do you think I'm a fool? It cost less than 500,000 yuan in half a month. If he had bought a house and a car before this, I wouldn't be angry. But he spends it all on women. How can you let him and let me live with him?" As a rich second-generation husband, in order to spend all day drinking, he squandered the money he received from his marriage. When the pregnant wife learned the news, she was so angry that she fainted on the spot, and then was sent to the hospital by her best friend. After Li Xian rushed to the hospital, he began to accuse Yadong without saying a word, believing that Xiaofan's accident was related to Yadong. The mother-in-law on the side also complained about Kia Tong. It wasn't until Yadong took out the bank bill that Xiaofan had torn up that they were dumbfounded. The paper clearly records the fact that Lee Xin spent 500,000 yuan in half a month, and the consumption locations are in various nightclubs and luxury stores. The speed at which money is spent. Even the mother who has always been protecting her calves can't stand it anymore. Baby, what are you going to do? Do you think mom and dad print money? So much money. After his father learned about this, he fought against Lee Xin. Fortunately, after the examination, Xiaofan was only mentally affected. The child is always fine with threatened miscarriage caused by stimulation. But this incident completely chilled Xiaofan, and she filed for divorce from Lee Xin as soon as possible. Lee Xin knew that Xiaofan would definitely not forgive him again this time, so he found a good buddy to help, hoping that Wen Hao could go back and ask Yadong to intercede and let her persuade Xiaofan. Lee Xin's actions this time, even Daming couldn't stand it. He persuaded Lee Xin to change himself for Xiaofan and the child in her belly. After all, a girl as good as Xiaofan, once she misses it, she may never be able to find it again. Wen Hao also advised him to know how to be content, not always thinking about eating in the bowl, occupying the pot, and having pots and pans in peace. The persuasion of a good brother finally awakened Lee Xin's conscience. Since fish and bear paws are destined not to have both, then he tried to give up his current life for Xiaofan's sake. Finally, under Yadong's persuasion, Xiaofan forgave Lee Xin again. After this day, Lee Xin did make a big change. Not only did he get rid of the problem of picking flowers and weeds, but he also became more and more aware of Xiaofan's goodness. Feeling the fetal movement in Xiaofan's stomach, he experienced the joy of being a father for the first time. In the future, he became a good husband and accompanied Xiaofan to the hospital for a prenatal checkup. However, just when Xiaofan thought that Lee Xin had really changed, he accidentally saw the scene on the street that completely broke his heart. She ran over and angrily asked who the woman was. "Who is that woman just now?" Lee Xin said, "Xiaofan, listen to me, not what you see." Xiaofan said, "I don't listen, I don't listen." Lee Xin said, "Xiaofan." Xiaofan said, "Lee Xin, I hate you." On the street, Xiaofan witnessed the scene of her husband and woman Qingqing Mi, and she ran away impulsively without waiting for Lee Xin to explain. As a result, he was rushed over in the next second. The tricycle fell to the ground, and the child in his belly was lost. However, what she didn't know was that the reason why Lee Xin wanted to give the woman's bag was to pay off the romantic debt he owed outside, and the ambiguous scene he saw was actually the woman's kiss to Lee Xin goodbye. The scene in front of him made Lee Xin completely dumbfounded. After reacting, he immediately sent Xiaofan to the hospital. Unfortunately, the child was stillborn. This news was a bolt from the blue for everyone. However, after crying, the mother-in-law began to shirk responsibility in front of Xiaofan, saying that if Xiaofan hadn't run to her parents' house because of her old age, this kind of thing wouldn't have happened. Xiaofan's mother was not happy when she heard this, saying that if Xiaofan hadn't been wronged in her husband's house, she would not have returned to her parents' house. Faced with the quarrel between the mothers of both sides, Xiaofan was no longer able to explain. At this time, fortunately, Lee Xin still had a conscience and took the initiative to stand up and admit his mistake. The departure of the child hit Xiaofan hard, and she lay in the hospital for a day and a night without saying a word, without talking or eating. After seeing Yadong that day, she finally couldn't help crying, "Sister Yadong. Not anymore. My child is gone." Xiaofan lay on the hospital bed in despair, and she didn't want to ask any more about this. The sudden departure of the child was also a blow to Lee Xin. In the evening, he found Daming to talk about it, and at first he put on an indifferent attitude, saying that the child is gone is a relief for him. But as he was talking, he suddenly cried again, "My son is gone, my son is gone. That's my own son." Although he used to be a cynical young master, now he has changed a lot for this child. And he is also ready to be a good father, but he sees the child leave in front of his eyes. Devastated, he became depraved again and began to go to nightclubs all day to get drunk. For this reason, he went to Xiaofan's hospital bed. "I wanted to get my bank card back." But this move made Xiaofan's injured heart completely cold. Originally, she thought that Lee Xin would feel sorry for the child in her belly, but she didn't expect that his nature was still difficult to change. After throwing those cards to Lee Xin, Xiaofan finally woke up in the world. In fact, the marriage between the two was a mistake at the beginning. Lee Xin originally regarded her as one of the many flowers and plants, and married her to get money from her father. After marriage, he seemed to have restrained a lot, but in fact, it is all for the sake of the child to suppress himself. Now that the child is gone, the marriage between the two should also end. Yadong was worried that she had just lost her child and was going to divorce again, so she couldn't bear it, so she advised her to delay it first. But now she doesn't want to wait for a moment. Xiaofan said, I really don't want to live under the title of Mrs. Li for a day anymore. He said he was relieved. I also want to be liberated. Then she asked Yadong to help her tell Li Xian about the divorce, and Li Xian did not object, and immediately agreed. Because he and Xiaofan have the same idea, they feel that their marriage is a mistake. And the mother-in-law here is also calculated to reconsider their marriage. The reason why she married Xiaofan before was because she was pregnant with the children of the Li family. Now that the child is gone, Xiaofan's existence has no value. What's more, during this time, she repeatedly tolerated Xiaofan, and she was already unpleasant to look at her. Unexpectedly, before she could speak, she learned from her son that Xiaofan was going to divorce. She was instantly unhappy again. We haven't brought it up yet, are they going to divorce first? Although she also hopes that the two can divorce, she also understands that divorce is not an easy task at all. She told her son Xiaofan that she would definitely divide his property. Li Xian disagreed, feeling that divorce was a matter of changing the certificate. As everyone knows, Xiaofan has already found a lawyer. The next day she put the divorce agreement in front of Li Xian. Li Xian said, 5 million. Zhang Xiaofan, you are a lion with a big mouth. Although he was a rich second generation of wealthy families, he never expected that Xiaofan Hui would ask her for so much. Then he told his mother the news. The mother said, it's ridiculous, who does he think he is? 5 million, I married Dai Yu back. As he was talking, Xiaofan's lawyer suddenly came to visit. The purpose of his visit this time was to send Li Xian a divorce agreement, and this move completely angered the mother-in-law on the side. She has always looked down on her daughter-in-law who was born poor, but she didn't expect her to file for divorce first. She immediately contacted her husband's company's legal counsel and decided to fight the lawsuit with Xiaofan. However, the husband was very angry when he learned about it. It is said that the ugliness of the family should not be publicized, and as a public figure, he does not want this kind of thing to reach the ears of outsiders. After returning home, he took a closer look at the divorce agreement. The 5 million property did make him worry. Because without Li Xian's knowledge, he had secretly prepared enough money for his son to spend his life. Once Xiaofan knows about this, I am afraid it will cost more. Just in case, he decided to hire a lawyer who specializes in divorce litigation. And the fact is that as he expected, Xiaofan's lawyer has calculated the Li family's property. He asked Xiaofan to raise the alimony to 8 million and sued immediately. However, what they didn't know was that Li's father, who had been in the workplace for a long time, had found someone to make a notarized certificate, which recorded the property of their father and son very clearly. You are you, I am me, and the property of our father and son is at their disposal. That is, if you divorce Xiaofan, you can only divide the property according to your financial situation, and the rest has nothing to do with me. I have to say that this trick is really ruthless. Being tossed by the cunning old and cunning father Li, Xiaofan could only divide the property and reduce it to 5 million. But if you want to win this case, you must catch evidence of your husband's cheating to gain the sympathy of the judge. Xiaofan is not worried about this, because it is a matter of minutes to catch evidence of his cheating. Li Xian is a well-known playboy. She took her lawyer to follow Li Xian's car to a bar and easily found Li Xian. At this time, he had a beautiful woman on his left and a beautiful woman on his right, having a good time. The lawyer filmed the scene without saying a word. The photo was quickly sent to Li Xian's mother. With this handle, Xiaofan finally got angry in front of his mother-in-law. The mother-in-law said, let me tell you Xiaofan, don't threaten us with this despicable means and let us compromise. I also tell you, we have settled this lawsuit. Xiaofan said, Mom, I think you should not be too impulsive, it is best to consult a lawyer and think carefully. The mother-in-law said, okay, I'm waiting for your good news. The mother-in-law was very tough at first, but when she consulted a lawyer, she suddenly lost her heart because even the lawyer thinks her son is too much. After all, Li Xian and Xiaofan have not yet divorced, and now the evidence of cheating in marriage is conclusive. Even if they go to court, the chances of winning are not good. My father was furious when he learned about this. Unexpectedly, Li Xian, who had been spoiled since he was a child, didn't think so. He also quarreled with him on the spot, complaining that he only knew how to make money and did not educate himself since he was a child, and now that he has become like this, he also has a great responsibility. My father said, bastard, who the hell am I making money for? Li Xian said, how do I know who I am for? If you want this, I'd rather not have this money. Seeing that the situation was not good, the mother persuaded her from the side. Who knew that the father and son would not let anyone else, and the more they quarreled, the more fierce they became. The father kicked Li Xian out of the house in a fit of anger, and said that he would never have a son like him. Without the discipline of parents, Li Xian simply broke the jar, accepted all the conditions put forward by Xiaofan, and signed the divorce agreement. But as early as when Xiaofan had just filed for divorce, his father had already separated from him. All he has now is all. His father left him stocks and real estate. However, in addition to the house he lives in now, all the family property liquidated by Li Xin is less than 4 million. This is still far from the 5 million proposed by Xiaofan. So far, thinking of the past couple, Xiaofan is no longer so tough. She asked the lawyer to tell Li Xin that he would pay as much as he wanted. This news finally made Li Xin breathe a sigh of relief. The two received their divorce certificate early the next morning. After Li Xin handed over the property to Xiaofan, the two were completely clear. Looking at the long-awaited divorce certificate in his hand, Li Xin was glad that he had finally regained his freedom. But soon he tasted the pain of regret. He is free and no longer has the happiness he had before marriage, and now he has no money. The friends who spent all day with him at the beginning also showed their true faces and gradually moved away from him. When he was not divorced before, he always disliked Xiaofan for taking care of him everywhere, but now that he is free, he begins to envy his good buddy for not going home, and there are still people who think about it. As time passed, he missed the days with Xiaofan more and more. On this day, he finally couldn't help but secretly find Xiaofan, but unexpectedly saw her chatting happily with a man, and his heart couldn't help but feel sour. And the divorced Xiaofan is no more the appearance of complaining people before. Because she likes small animals, she opened her own pet store and gradually lived the way she wanted. From that day on, Li Xin quietly followed Xiaofan every day, until he was discovered by Xiaofan that day. He plucked up the courage to ask to talk to Xiaofan, but was rejected by Xiaofan on the spot, because she already had an appointment. Seeing that it was still the same as last time, Li Xin suddenly became angry. Okay, Yuzhang Xiaofan, the two of us have been divorced for less than a month. You've hooked up with someone else. As a result, Xiaofan got into the man's car without looking back. An angry Li Xin was driving because of his lack of concentration, which led to a serious car accident. Fortunately, the car protected him well, only slightly in the end. Concussion and soft tissue contusion in the leg. However, Li Xin played a scoundrel because of this. In order to see Xiaofan, he changed his ways to oppose his parents. Not only did he not eat, but he also drove away his mother who served him. The mother who loves her son really can't help it. He called Li Xin's good buddy Daming, hoping that he could help persuade Li Xin. I never thought that when the good buddies arrived, Li Xin was leisurely playing with his mobile phone, and then began to look at them everywhere. I want you to get out. Solve your own problem. Talk to me again. The good buddy was quickly angry with him and turned his head away. But after taking a few steps, they suddenly realized that something was wrong. No matter how much Li Xin made trouble before, he had never hunger strike, but this time he didn't even listen to his father's words. Now that Xiaofan has a boyfriend again, they guess that Li Xin's purpose is to force Zhang Xiaofan to come forward, and he is embarrassed to say it, so he wants to call them to find a step. Thinking of this, the buddies returned to the ward again. Under double persecution, Li Xin, who wanted to save face, finally told the truth. Yes, I'm a bastard, but bastards also have times to wake up, right? I'm awake now. I just want to have a face-to-face chat with Zhang Xiaofan. I just want her to come over. I don't want to divorce. However, Xiaofan's heart had already been broken by Li Xin. Therefore, no matter how the rat persuaded him, Xiaofan still did not agree in the end. Upon learning of this, Li Xin's mother became even more anxious, so she decided to ask Xiaofan in person. Seeing the makeup and smile on Xiaofan's face now, it seems that his appearance has completely changed. She began to regret it a little, admitting that she also had a certain responsibility for the divorce between the two. Then she made a request for Xiaofan to remarry her son. She cried and begged Xiaofan to take a look at her son, even if it was perfunctory. But Xiaofan, who was heartbroken, didn't want to give Li Xin any hope, so she finally rejected all her mother's requests. In desperation, Li Xin's father directly found Xiaofan's mother and wanted to persuade Xiaofan through Xiaofan's parents. Xiaofan was the only one who respected him before the divorce. The person is his father-in-law. When he saw several of them appear in front of him, Xiaofan finally stopped insisting and promised them to meet Li Xin. Seeing Xiaofan, who was thinking day and night, Li Xin finally coaxed and proposed to remarry as soon as possible. Xiaofan felt ridiculous. She didn't expect Li Xin to be so naive after the divorce. Xiaofan said, Li Xin, why do others grow up after experiencing things, but what about you? Why is it still the same as before? Don't you reflect? Xiaofan was a little disappointed. When Li Xin knelt down and begged herself to give him another chance, she left without looking back. Although Xiaofan left, this time Xiaofan's words completely stimulated Li Xin. He changed his previous way of eating, drinking, and having fun, and after going home to apologize to his parents, he took the initiative to go to work in his father's company, planning to start from the bottom, work hard, and make some achievements for Xiaofan to see. On this day, Xiaofan secretly went to Li Xian, and when she saw him working seriously, she was both happy and moved. So he couldn't help but send a message to Li Xian. Li Xian, the business has been negotiated and we have made money. You can invite me to dinner. You are handsome today. Obviously he is a newlywed husband, but he doesn't return home all day and night. Not only that, but on this day, he also proposed to sleep in separate rooms with his wife, which caused strong dissatisfaction from his wife. Jiang Xinyao said, "Cut, bullshit newlyweds, aren't you and me newlyweds?" To find out why. On this day, Jiang Xinyao decided to follow Daming to find out. Unexpectedly, she accidentally saw this heart-wrenching scene. The husband gave all his indifference to himself, but gave the most sincere smile to outsiders. Recalling the day she first fell in love, Jiang Xinyao felt that all this was so worthless. It turned out that on the day of graduation from college, the two made an appointment to go on a roller coaster together. Unexpectedly, as soon as the car started, Daming's seatbelt was disconnected. Jiang Xinyao was so scared that she desperately called for help, but received no response. In the panic, Daming plucked up the courage to take Jiang Xinyao's hand. Daming said, "At the last moment of my life, as long as I can be with you, I am happy to die." At this time, why didn't Jiang Xinyao worry about losing Daming? In order to show her sincerity, she did not hesitate to unfasten her seatbelt to accompany Daming. Daming was very moved. As the roller coaster got faster and faster, Daming finally confessed to Jiang Xinyao. The two were together tacitly. Fortunately, all this is a false alarm. In the evening, in order to celebrate the rest of their lives, Daming got drunk. Seeing this, Jiang Xinyao opened a room in a nearby hotel. Just when she was wiping Daming's body, Daming pressed her to the bed all of a sudden. Jiang Xinyao said, "Hey, what are you doing?" Daming said, "Cheating her, I love you." Jiang Xinyao said, "I love you too. Even if our playground is in danger today, I don't regret it." Then an indescribable scene occurred between the two. The next day, Daming brought Xian Yao home as his future daughter-in-law. Unexpectedly, before he could finish speaking, he was opposed by his mother. She thought that on the first day of graduation, Jiang Xinyao couldn't wait to come to her home, obviously taking a fancy to Daming's local household registration in Beijing. However, Daming believed that as long as two people loved each other enough, they could get married, and he and Jiang Xinyao had already experienced the test of life and death. So the next day he ignored his parents' opposition and followed Jiang Xinyao back to his hometown. Knowing that her daughter wanted to get married, Jiang Xinyao's mother agreed without hesitation. After being recognized by one of the parents, the two were overjoyed. Then Daming struck while the iron was hot. "Go to your parents again to discuss this matter." But no matter what the Ming dynasty said, the parents just didn't agree to the marriage. Daming had no choice but to find his good brother Li Xian to discuss this matter, because among all his friends, Li Xian had the most ghost ideas. And Li Xian really didn't disappoint him. The vomiting medicine bought on foreign websites vomits after eating, which is like drinking dichlorvos. But rest assured, there is absolutely no danger to life. When Daming heard this, he drank it on the spot without saying a word, and was then sent to the hospital by Li Xian. But Daming's father was not so easy to fool. He saw the conspiracy of his son and Li Xian at a glance. However, he didn't want to interfere with his son's feelings, so he chose to turn a blind eye to this matter. But Daming's mother was not so calm. Seeing that her son almost gave up her life for this marriage, she, as a mother, could only compromise and agreed to the marriage of the two on the spot. So Daming struck while the iron was hot, and got a marriage certificate from Jiang Xinyao the next day. Jiang Xinyao thought that as long as two people loved each other enough, they could start a family, but she didn't know that things were far from as simple as she thought. On the second day of marriage, her mother-in-law saw that her nose was not a nose, and her eyes were not eyes. Seeing Jiang Xinyao eating for her son, she was even more jealous. But fortunately, Daming knows how to coax women. Eating what her son fed, she didn't mention how happy she was. But at night, she became worried again, thinking that her son did not seek progress every day. All I thought about marrying Jiang Xinyao was delayed. But soon something more troublesome for her appeared, because Jiang Xinyao's mother offered to let him buy a house for Daming as a wedding house. Mother said, "Beijingers are all big money." Hey, when his two lips touched like this, it was a house. Is he marrying his daughter or selling his daughter? What's more, the old couple has been diligent and saved for a lifetime, and they can't come up with so much money for a while. So he proposed to let Jiang Xinyao. The mother also paid part of the down payment. For the sake of her daughter's happiness, Jiang Xinyao's mother promised to pay 1/3 of the down payment without saying a word. But even if Jiang Xingyao took the money, this mother-in-law didn't give Jiang Xingyao a good face. All the decorations must be according to her wishes. Not only did she not accept any opinion of Jiang Xingyao, but she also belittled her, ridiculing Jiang Xingyao for not knowing how to be diligent and thrifty. Jiang Xingyao said, "Your mother is in charge of everything. Does she live in that house or do we live in it?" I gave her some advice, and she didn't even listen and gave me no. "You know I love baby." I said I wanted a bathtub, but she said no. Daming had no choice but to coax on both sides. Fortunately, Jiang Xingyao had no resistance to Daming's rhetoric, and she was coaxed into laughter in a few sentences. When the two went to the building materials market the next day, Jiang Xingyao fell in love with a smart toilet again. But Daming believes that smart toilets are IQ taxes, so they do not agree with Jiang Xinyao's purchase. At this moment, he suddenly received a work call saying that he needed to work overtime. Before leaving, he also specially told Jiang Xingyao not to buy it. Unexpectedly, he just left on his front foot. Jiang Xingyao bought the smart toilet home on her hind foot. For this reason, the two had a big fight. Jiang Xingyao said, "Let me tell you, without this toilet, I won't get married." Daming said, "Hey, let me tell you too, if you don't return this toilet, I won't tie it." Jiang Xingyao went back to her parents' house in a fit of anger. Not only is her mother-in-law not pleasing to the eye when she just got married, but now she is not even as good as a smart toilet in her husband's heart. What is the meaning of this marriage? The next day, feeling aggrieved, she went to the park where the two of them rode the roller coaster together. And at this time, Daming also happened to come here. Recalling the life and death test experienced by the two, Jiang Xingyao felt that her relationship with Daming could not end unclearly because of this little thing, so this time she chose to compromise. That's all. The two finally successfully entered the palace of marriage. To say that the happiest day in this life is the bridal chamber candle night. The day that Daming had been longing for finally came, but Jiang Xinyao's mother poured a basin of cold water on him. "Gume, my mother may be staying at our house tonight." The men played a little ambiguous in the company under the guise of working overtime. After working overtime that day, he took the initiative to invite Fang Ting to dinner together, and did not go home until midnight. At this time, Jiang Xingyao had been waiting on the side for a long time. Jiang Xingyao said, "If you don't go home so late, don't call, don't send messages, are you inconvenient to answer my call?" Wang Mingxian looked impatient after hearing this, saying that he was tired enough to go to work every day, and when he got home, he hoped to have a daughter-in-law who could ask for warmth, so that she would not have anything to do. However, what he didn't know was that Jiang Xingyao had already called his office just now, and no one answered at all. At first, Wang Mingxian confidently said that he just went to work overtime, but now after the lie was exposed, but he directly launched his temper at Jiang Xingyao with a guilty conscience. The mother-in-law on the side couldn't stand it anymore, and ran over to argue with him, but she didn't expect it to cause Wang Mingxuan's strong dissatisfaction. "Mom, I don't understand. You two are about to become Jiang Xinyao's best partner as a private detective. I think it's good for you two to open a detective agency." It turned out that just yesterday, Wang Mingxian overheard the conversation between their mother and daughter, and heard her mother-in-law educate her daughter that it was not a good thing for a man to have ability, saying that he was still a child before. When he was an employee, he was still a family member, but now he has been promoted to assistant manager and has begun to stay away at night, telling his daughter to take a closer look at her husband. With her mother's fanning, Jiang Xingyao immediately began to act, taking advantage of Wang Mingxuan's washing skills to quickly help him sort out his handbag. This move caused Wang Mingxian to be strongly dissatisfied, and she simply told Jiang Xingyao directly to ask her mother not to cause trouble. He never thought that now he would be investigated by Jiang Xingyao like a detective after working overtime, so he naturally felt that all this was given by his mother-in-law. Finally, he couldn't bear it anymore and broke out. "What do you mean by, the more capable a man is, the more a woman gets in the way? Can you explain it to me?" Jiang Xingyao said, "Isn't that right? I think my mother is very right, she is very right, she is talking about you." Seeing this, Jiang Xingyao also began to stand on her mother's side. He blamed Wang Mingxian with a disdainful face and said with disdain that he would not answer the phone as soon as he became the assistant manager, and if he was promoted to director or something in the future, he would not go home. As everyone knows, her words also completely angered Wang Mingxian. The more the two quarreled, the more fierce they became, and in a fit of anger, he went to a nightclub with his good brother without looking back. Unexpectedly, as soon as a glass of wine was served, he received a call from Fang Ting. It turned out that she was also playing next door, and she happened to see Wang Mingxian passing by, so she took the initiative to look for it. Wang Mingxian really feels sorry for girls. After the end, seeing Fang Ting trembling on the side, he took off his coat and put it on her. It was this move that quickly made Jiang Xingyao aware of Fang Ting's existence. Subsequently, Wang Mingxian, who had nowhere to return, lived in his parents' house. The mother here persuaded her daughter to invite Wang Mingxian back, but Jiang Xingyao was arrogant and refused to bow her head. Helplessly, early the next morning, my mother could only go to Wang Mingxuan's house in person. The mother-in-law personally came to apologize, and Wang Mingxian had to accept it. In the end, he could only follow his mother-in-law home. After some heart-to-heart communication, both of them decided to live a down-to-earth life in the future. However, just as the two hugged each other and told each other about their love for each other, Fang Ting suddenly sent a message. Message content: I went to bed last night when I got home and forgot to text you. Please rest assured, leader. Jiang Xinyao asked. Ooh. With a guilty conscience, he quickly pressed the delete button after reading it. Jiang Xinyao asked again, who is it? Wang Mingxian said, mobile phone newspaper every day, don't think to delete it once at a time. Wang Mingxian said, then I'll go take a shower. Unexpectedly, as soon as he left, the little assistant sent another message, saying that he wanted to return his clothes to him. This message was seen by Jiang Xinyao without accident. Just as she was tidying up her clothes, she also asked her husband why the blue coat was missing. Wang Mingxian also replied very affirmatively and fell at his mother's house. The woman's sixth sense told Jiang Xinyao that there must be something wrong with this. She immediately called her husband over to confront him. Unexpectedly, when he heard Fang Ting's name, Wang Mingxian suddenly blushed. With a guilty conscience, he immediately used a smile to hide his embarrassment, and then explained to Xianyao that he and Fang Ting were just colleagues, but it was too late to drink together last night, so he lent her clothes. In order to prove his innocence, he offered to do so. He can ask Fang Ting to come out for a meal and let Xianyao meet her properly. However, what he didn't expect was that when he said it casually, Jiang Xinyao took it seriously and immediately agreed. Jiang Xinyao is now unemployed at home, but her husband's career is thriving. This made her insecure and suspicious. She wants to get rid of all worries for herself. Fang Ting received a call from Wang Mingxian here, and she was a little shy in addition to being surprised. However, when she arrived, she was dumbfounded on the spot. As soon as we met, Xianyao couldn't wait to declare her sovereignty. I am his wife, hello. Fang Ting said, hey, sister-in-law and sister-in-law, hello. At the dinner table, she hid a knife in her smile, full of gunpowder. However, Fang Ting was not to be outdone. She deliberately used work as an excuse. Let Wang Mingxian sit next to her. Xianyao couldn't stand it anymore, and wanted to call him back for dinner, but she didn't expect to be stopped by Fang Ting again as soon as she got up. The two of them talked and laughed, which made Xianyao suddenly angry. Then taking the opportunity to go out to the toilet, Wang Mingxian explained to Fang Ting that Xianyao was not an unreasonable person, but the two had a recent quarrel, so she insisted on coming out to eat this meal. But after hearing this, Fang Ting said very ambiguously, as for me, if I want to find a boyfriend in the future, I must also find a good man like my senior brother who speaks for my daughter-in-law everywhere. However, having said that, when she saw Jiang Xinyao this time, she was still a little unhappy. Early the next morning, she changed her previous attitude, deliberately kept a distance from Wang Mingxian, which made Wang Mingxian very uncomfortable. Perhaps to apologize, or perhaps to please Fang Ting, he immediately proposed to invite her to dinner in the evening, and there were only the two of them. Unexpectedly, at this time, the good brother Big Duck pair also came to him for dinner. Since the last time he saw Fang Ting, he had never forgotten her, so this time he also wanted to meet Fang Ting again in the name of Wang Mingxian. Then when eating, in the face of the overtures of the Big Duck pair, Fang Ting did not refuse. Wang Mingxian saw it in his eyes and was angry in his heart. After Diali left, he couldn't wait to tell Fang Ting to keep her distance from Diali. And Fang Ting knows how to handle it very well. I definitely don't like playboys, but, right, I can't be too deliberate about rejecting others. A woman doesn't sleep in the middle of the night, and she has to let her husband use practical actions to prove whether he loves her. But the man who worked for a day was tired and sleepy, so he didn't have the extra strength to do that. So after kissing the woman a few times perfunctorily, he turned his head and fell asleep. The woman was so angry that she slept all night with her eyes open. But there is another more important reason why men don't want to spoil their wives, that is, there is a more beautiful woman than his wife in the workplace. Hook his soul. This woman is really not simple, just one trick to catch the old man. Wang Mingxian fell into her gentle trap. On this day, because of Wang Mingxuan's excellent work, he was promoted to deputy director, and the first thing he did after being promoted was to Xiang. The head office applied for Fang Ting to be his assistant. When Fang Ting heard the news, she was so surprised that the cup was not served properly, and she was burned all of a sudden. Seeing this, Wang Mingxian immediately took a towel and put it on Fang Ting's hand. Fang Ting was even more shy by Wang Mingxuan's action, so he said in a deep breath, "Thank you, senior brother." But after all, she had only been in the company for a few days, and she couldn't believe that she could become a manager's assistant in such a short period of time, so she repeatedly confirmed whether what Wang Mingxian said was true. Wang Mingxian also said without hesitation, "I will partner with you and say no to others." Hearing this, the scheming girl was even more unable to close her mouth. and hear Jiang Xinyao in order not to think wildly at home all day, but also to have a common topic with Wang Mingxian. After sending her mother back to her hometown, she got a job right away. Knowing that his wife had found a job, Wang Mingxian excitedly picked up Jiang Xinyao and turned in circles. The next day, Jiang Xinyao appeared in front of Wang Mingxian in professional clothes, and Wang Mingxian looked at Jiang Xinyao's eyes a little more pampered. After get off work in the evening, Jiang Xinyao wanted to secretly surprise her husband, but unexpectedly the surprise turned into a shock. Looking at the ambiguous appearance of Wang Mingxian and Fang Ting, Jiang Xinyao stomped her feet angrily. So she pretended not to see it at night, asked Wang Mingxian again if he loved himself. Jiang Xinyao said, "You are here again." Wang Mingxian said, "I love you." Wang Mingxian was about to collapse by this question. He knew that if he didn't take any action, then Jiang Xinyao would not let him go every day in the future. So the next day, he specially bought flowers and took Jiang Xinyao to a place with a beautiful view, preparing to have a sweet tryst with her to dispel Jiang Xinyao's concerns. This trick did work, and Jiang Xinyao was immediately coaxed from ear to ear by Dame. After eating, the two wanted to go home to warm up, but they didn't expect a homeless man lying in front of the house. When the man took off his clothes, Jiang Xinyao was horrified to find that this person was her father who had disappeared for 6 years. Jiang Xinyao said, "Xinyao, Dad." The conversation between the two really surprised Daming. "I just sent my mother-in-law away yesterday, and today I parachuted in another father," not to mention how blocked Daming's heart was. Since marrying Jiang Xinyao, they have not lived a day in the so-called two-person world. As soon as the man entered the door, he asked unceremoniously, "Where do I live?" As soon as he heard that Jiang Xinyao's father was going to live here, Daming's heart suddenly became cold. But no matter what, he is also Jiang Xinyao's father, so Daming politely called Dad. Hearing this sound, the man floated and immediately ordered his son-in-law to buy him roast chicken and goose sauce elbows. Daming said, "That thing can be on fire." The father-in-law said, "I'm not afraid, there is little soup in it, I have long wanted to get angry." Daming asked, "Inside?" "Where?" Jiang Xinyao said, "My dad just let it out." Daming learned that Jiang Xinyao actually had a father who had been in prison. On the first day of his release from prison, he was homeless and lived directly in their new house. At first, Daming was still for the sake of Xinyao's father. Call him Dad. Unexpectedly, that night he learned that the father-in-law who fell from the sky was planning to live with his parents. Not only that, but he also asked Daming to find him a decent job, otherwise the young couple would have to serve deliciously. When the two got married, Daming never knew that Jiang Xinyao had a father. Now that it suddenly appeared, and it was just released, there was a gap between their husband and wife all of a sudden. Daming always felt that Xinyao still had a lot to hide from him. However, Xinyao also has suffering. She has grown up in her father's beating and scolding since she was a child. In addition to domestic violence, my father also smoked and drank alcohol all day long. Until he got into trouble and was caught, Xinyao felt that she could get rid of this father forever. She was worried that Daming's parents would look down on her when she found out about this, so she never mentioned it. After listening to Xinyao story, Daming did not blame her, but hugged her distressedly. Decide to love her well in the future, love her and protect her. Daming said, "Dad, with me, don't be afraid in the future." Xinyao said, "How Feng, I love you." However, Daming soon realized that he was wrong, and his love for Jiang Xinyao could not solve any problems at all. The father-in-law who has nothing to do is not only smoking and drinking at home all day long also made a mess at home. On this day, he wanted to persuade his father-in-law to go out to find a job, but he was scolded by the other party. Daming couldn't bear it anymore and went back to his parents' house in a fit of anger. After my mother learned the news, it's even more angry. She was worried that the house she paid for would be occupied by others, so she personally planned to drive him away. Unexpectedly, he didn't leave in the end, but he was kicked out by this messy person. The mother, who was not angry, called Daming. After learning about this, Daming no longer tolerated it. He went straight home and bluntly told his father-in-law to leave quickly. The father-in-law was instantly unhappy when he heard this. "You want to drive me away? Why are you driving me away? This is my daughter's house. If this work can't be implemented, I'll be here to retire. Don't want me to go in your life." In the face of such an unreasonable father-in-law, he couldn't stay in this family for a moment. After coming out, he didn't say a word to Jiang Xinyao, but directly called the assistant and asked him to give it to him in the company dormitory. "Arrange a room yourself." Unexpectedly, she directly arranged the room next door to her. When Daming arrived, she had already prepared toiletries intimately. Before Daming could react, she hurried to the room again. He took his facial cleanser to Daming. Daming said, "This is not necessary, in fact, I can use a soap." Fang Ting said, "How can that work? You have to use this. The two of us were running business outside all day, and our faces were covered in dirt. With this, you can get rid of blackheads and take care of your skin. Fong Ting's cute appearance instantly made Daming laugh. Compared to the home that no longer looks like a home, this place may be more like to him. With the considerate care of the little assistant, Daming's mood finally improved. In the evening, Fong Ting took the initiative to bring what she made. Meals come to this house and Daming to eat. During this period, she told Daming that the sewer in her house was broken. After hearing this, Daming didn't say a word, he ran over and repaired it, and even the broken light bulb was replaced by him. This made Fong Ting can't help but look at him, cast an admiring gaze. The small room also instantly became more ambiguous. Fong Ting said, "Dad, you see it's all gray." Later, during the meal, Wang Mingxian learned that Fong Ting's father and the big boss of the company turned out to be old acquaintances. But in order to prove her ability, she did not use her father's connection, but chose to start from the bottom step by step. Fong Ting's hard work made Wang Mingxian instantly appreciate her more. However, Wang Mingxian was drinking wine and laughing with the beautiful women here, but Xinyao was destined to have a sleepless night tonight, because after Wang Mingxian ran away from home without saying a word, I haven't called her until now. Xinyao thought he had gone back to his parents' house, so he called home early the next morning. Unexpectedly, my father-in-law said that he didn't go home at all last night. Then she called Wang Mingxuan's leader and learned that he was now living in the company's dormitory. Xianyao's heart was mixed, and then she sent a message to Wang Mingxian, wanting to meet and talk. At this time, Wang Mingxian was playing games with the little assistant and had a lot of fun. When he saw the message from Xianyao, he couldn't laugh instantly, and came out to meet Xianyao very impatiently. Xianyao begged him to go home with her, but Wang Mingxian resolutely said that when his father left, he would go back. Otherwise he lives in the dormitory forever. But his mother couldn't bear it. She rushed home again, wanting to drive Xianyao's father away. "This is my son's home, why do you live here?" The father-in-law said, "If your son marries my girl, I can live in this family. Get out of here. Get lost. Get lost. Who's out? Do you believe that I will let you get out now?" In the end, not only did he not drive him away, but he was also played a hooligan by this unreasonable person. She cried and found her son to complain about her grievances. When Wang Mingxian heard this, he instantly became angry, and immediately returned home and yelled at Xinyao's father. He also threatened to get him out. After a while, the two started fighting. However, Wang Mingxian was not his opponent at all, not to mention that he was punched, and his mother was pushed down on the sofa by him. Wang Mingxian, who was wronged, had nowhere to vent for a while, so he blamed Xinyao. "Zhang Xinyao, if you don't drive her away today, I will divorce you. I can be angry with you, I can be angry with your family, but I can't let my mother be angry with us. Do you understand?" Seeing that Wang Mingxian was injured, Fong Ting couldn't help but care again. After listening to Wang Mingxian talk about the cause and effect of the matter, she immediately proposed to let her father, who is a lawyer, help. Seeing that Wang Mingxian no longer had the heart to work, she also took all the work on herself very intimately. With the help of Fong Ting, Wang Mingxian quickly solved this big problem. On this day, Fong Ting handed him the sorted-out legal provisions, which clearly recorded Jiang Xinyao's father. They simply do not qualify to live in their houses. If the other party is arrogant and unreasonable, then he can choose to sue. With this information, Wang Mingxian also had confidence in his heart. He found Jiang Xinyao's father again and asked him to leave. Seeing these legal provisions, he finally stopped being arrogant. He packed up his things and left in disgrace. In order to thank Fong Ting for her help, Wang Mingxian decided to invite her to her house for dinner. The man took his assistant to watch a movie under the guise of working overtime. In order to prevent his wife from calling, he also deliberately deducted the battery of his mobile phone. Jiang Xinyao saw all this in her eyes and hurt in her heart. She turned away lonely. In the elevator, she couldn't help crying aggrievely. On the other side, Wang Mingxian was talking and laughing ambiguously with the little assistant. Perhaps this was a careful plan by Fong Ting. She took the initiative to invite Wang Mingxian to watch a movie, and took the initiative to buy tickets, but in the end she bought a horror movie for couples. During this period, she was so frightened that she plunged into Wang Mingxuan's arms again and again. And in the face of such an intimate move, Wang Mingxian did not shy away at all. I even enjoyed it very much. In a good mood, he hummed a little song and entered the house. At this time, the depressed Xinyao was mopping the floor to vent her emotions. Wang Mingxian lied and said, saying that he had worked overtime until now because of a sentence in the contract. I don't know that Jiang Xinyao has seen everything. She didn't pick it out on the spot, but proposed that she suddenly wanted to watch a movie and asked Wang Mingxian to take her to see it tomorrow. Unexpectedly, Wang Mingxian didn't care and said that he could download from the internet whatever he wanted to see. Jiang Xinyao's already broken heart could no longer be tense. Why do I have to go online to watch movies? I'm going to the cinema to watch a movie. I'm going to eat popcorn, drink Coke, eat ice cream, sit in a couple seat. In the face of Jiang Xinyao's debunk, Wang Mingxuan's first reaction was not a guilty conscience. Instead, he was angry that Jiang Xinyiao actually followed him, and confidently said that he was too tired from work and wanted to relax after get off work, and he didn't feel anything wrong with watching movies with young girls as a married man. Jiang Xinyiao looked at him with tears in her eyes. Complain about everything you see. However, in the face of his aggrieved wife, he did not even say a word of comfort, but blamed his wife for all this, saying that the reason why he lied was because she always had nothing to do and made trouble. Wang Mingxian said, "Do you know that I am every day? How do I feel when I go home and see you treating me like this? I feel like I'm particularly depressed." Jiang Xinyiao said, "Do you think I'm depressed? Let you add one." Before marriage, they were very romantic, but now Wang Mingxian no longer wants to discuss with him the question of, do you love me or not, do I love you? He didn't even want his wife to put all her energy on him. Jiang Xinyiao, whom he used to regard as a baby, now he has become the person he hates. He blamed Jiang Xinyiao everywhere, but he didn't feel that the reason why the two of them became what they are today was because they had changed their minds. Love is like this, the person who always cares the most is hurt first. Marriage gradually brought Wang Mingxian to reality, but Jiang Xinyiao was still immersed in the romance of love. But the man did not restrain himself, and even unabashedly took Fang Ting to meet his good buddy. Wang Mingxian thought he had a clear conscience, but when Hao on the side saw through all this at a glance and reminded him to take care of himself, Yadong couldn't stand it anymore, so he called Xinyiao and told her that Wang Mingxian had brought a woman to help Wen Hao decorate the house. Xianyao guessed at once that this woman must be Fang Ting. After returning home, the two could not avoid another quarrel. Jiang Xinyiao said, "If you two are okay, why are you in pairs all day long? Why did you take her to decorate? You want one at home and one outside, right? I can't stand it." Wang Mingxian said, "Then what do you want? Then let's get a divorce." Wang Mingxian left the sentence, leave, and left home in style. With nowhere to go, he came to the company dormitory again. After Fang Ting heard the movement, she quickly sent him a quilt. Xianyao, who was aggrieved here, was at a loss for a while, so she had to call her mother. The mother, who learned the news, rushed over from her hometown the next day, and also went to Wang Mingxuan's house to tell Wang Mingxuan's father that his son had a woman outside and wanted to divorce his daughter. When his in-laws complained to the house, he couldn't sit idly by, so he immediately asked his son out to criticize and educate him. Under the pressure of both parents, Wang Mingxian had no choice but to go home. Under the persuasion of her mother, Xianyao also bowed her head and apologized to Wang Mingxian. After some frank communication, the two reconciled again. However, unexpectedly, new cracks soon appeared in their relationship. Wang Mingxian has always wanted to buy a car, but has not acted because of the price. After Fang Ting learned the news, she persuaded him to buy a second-hand car. "I happen to have a relative who sells used cars." After listening to Fang Ting's introduction, Wang Mingxian was suddenly moved. The next day, I took Xinyiao to the second-hand car market. As soon as she saw Fang Ting, she couldn't help but feel weird. "I really have to thank you. As soon as I quarreled with Daming, he ran to the apartment to live, and I have to trouble you to take care of him for me. Thank you." In front of Fang Ting, she deliberately put on a very affectionate look with Wang Mingxian. With the help of Fang Ting, Wang Mingxian quickly bought the car he liked. In order to celebrate, Xianyao proposed to go for a ride together, but Wang Mingxian refused because he had someone he wanted to go for a ride with more. In order to avoid quarreling with Xinyiao, he lied that he was going to find a good one. Dude shows off his new car. But in the blink of an eye, he came downstairs to Fang Ting's house. Wang Mingxian said, "Get in the car, where are you going? Take you for a ride." Fang Ting suddenly blossomed with joy after hearing this. Then the two ran to the mountains and drank together. Lonely men and women in the wilderness, the atmosphere quickly became ambiguous. Although he knew that Wang Mingxian was married, Fang Ting still couldn't help but confess to him, "Daming, do you like me? I admit, I have a good impression of you. But I know that after you have a family, I can't destroy your family. I can't destroy it, so I have already sealed my feelings for you." The man was suddenly confessed by the little assistant, and before he could react, the little assistant said that he would not destroy his family, so he decided to seal this love completely. Fang Ting said, "Some people will say that there will definitely be no pure friendship between men and women, but I don't think so. I think there will be." No matter how much Xianyao doubted before, Wang Mingxian tried his best to deny the relationship between himself and Fang Ting. But now in the face of the little assistant's ambiguous love words, he enjoyed it very much, and even a little complacent. And Fang Ting's gentleness, sensibility, and understanding also began to confuse Wang Mingxian. In the face of Xian Yao's proposal for husband and wife, he also found a reason to refuse. Unexpectedly, Xian Yao suddenly felt a burst of vomiting, and the symptoms did not subside until the next morning. Her mother wondered if she was pregnant, and she suddenly realized that her period had been postponed. Then her mother led her to find a classmate who was a traditional Chinese medicine doctor to take the pulse. The doctor preliminarily concluded, "Ah, there is joy. Sister Zhou, congratulations, you are about to become a grandma." Xian Yao immediately called Wang Mingxian and told Wang Mingxian the news. Wang Mingxian has always liked children very much, and when he hung up the phone, he was even more excited that he couldn't open the meeting and was about to go home. When Fang Ting on the side saw it, she looked disappointed. After the in-laws learned the news, they were even more excited and rushed over as soon as possible. Unexpectedly, when they learned that Xin Yao did not go to the hospital for examination, the two of them suddenly lost their hearts, worried that they would be happy at that time. However, Xin Yao's mother said with certainty that her classmates had been old Chinese medicine doctors for 3 generations, and they had cured her asthma, and they couldn't say anything more. Since then, Jiang Xinyao has lived a princess-like life, and Wang Mingxian has also obeyed her. Taking this opportunity, she proposed to let Wang Mingxian meet Fang Ting less in the future, and Wang Mingxian agreed without saying a word. The arrival of the child is like a talisman for Jiang Xinyao. After this day, Wang Mingxian put away the unclear relationship with Fang Ting and changed his previous attitude and began to play the role of a good husband every day, not only pushing away all overtime, but also buying fruit for Xian Yao when he got off work. However, after 2 days of good days, when I went to the toilet that day, Jiang Xinyao actually found that she was on her period off. Wang Mingxian asked, "What's wrong with my wife?" Jiang Xinyao said, "What's wrong?" "It's okay." Wang Mingxian asked, "Then what are you shouting?" Jiang Xinyao said, "It's okay, it's really okay, it's really okay." When I went to the hospital for a checkup, I learned that she was not pregnant at all, but vomiting caused by gastrointestinal problems. Jiang Xinyao was suddenly dumbfounded because she didn't know how to explain it to Wang Mingxian and her parents-in-law. At this time, the mother on the side had another idea. Since Xian Yao became pregnant, their whole family has treated her like the supreme emperor. If they find out that the pregnancy is false, then they definitely have no face on their faces. So she proposed to let Xian Yao hide the truth first, and take the opportunity to seize the time to conceive another one. Xian Yao agreed in such a daze. The next day she went to the doctor again. "I want to see if there is anything I can do to improve my chances of getting pregnant." Unexpectedly, this doctor happened to be Fang Ting's mother, and she also saw the scene of Xin Yao seeing a doctor. I looked through her medical records and found out that she was not pregnant at all. Subsequently, Wang Mingxian knew the fact that Xian Yao was fake pregnant. Wang Mingxian said, "Jiang Xinyao, you said Jiang Xinyao was fake pregnant." Deeply desperate, he had a big quarrel with his wife and went back to his parents' house. Wang Mingxian especially likes children, so when he learned that Xian Yao was pregnant, he served her like the supreme emperor, and he didn't know how much work he had delayed because of this. Now they are united as monkeys by their mother and daughter. At this time, Xin Yao was already an out-and-out liar in Wang Mingxuan's eyes. Therefore, when the two of them came to apologize the next day, he resolutely filed for divorce. Wang Mingxian said, "Divorce? Let me tell you, I just don't agree. I won't divorce you even if I die." After going back, Xian Yao blamed herself and prayed that Wang Mingxian would not really divorce her. But the mother felt more and more strange. How did Wang Mingxian know about the fake pregnancy? Things went like this today, and she decided to find out who leaked the secret. After thinking for a while, she had an answer. "Fang Ting, she is a major suspect. Didn't you tell me that her mother worked in that Shugang hospital? It's her, it must be her." With this guess, she found Fang Ting as soon as possible. When she saw her talking and laughing with Wang Mingxian at work, she confirmed her guess even more. It was believed that Fang Ting had harmed his daughter, and he also regarded her as a third party in his daughter's marriage, and scolded her in public. The scolding was not addictive, and then a slap directly slapped Fang Ting's face. Wang Mingxian couldn't stand it and wanted to step forward and argue with him. Unexpectedly, he was scolded in public. As soon as this incident came out, Wang Mingxian was immediately given a long vacation by the leader. Just yesterday, Xian Yao forced her to die and begged Wang Mingxian not to divorce her. Wang Mingxian also saw the relationship between the two for many years and promised him to consider it. Now he obviously has the answer. He returned home angrily, knelt in front of Jiang Xinyao, and begged her to let him go. At this time, Jiang Xinyao knew what her mother had done, but she didn't feel that it was completely her mother's fault, because she also identified Wang Mingxian. There must be something between him and Fang Ting. The two sparked the most intense quarrel of all time. Before leaving, Wang Mingxian issued an ultimatum. "Jiang Xinyao, you and your mother insist on putting dirty water on my head, then I will continue. I'm going to chase Fang Ting now." Jiang Xinyao said. What did you say? Wang Mingxian said. I said I want to divorce you. This is all you and your mother who forced me. At this point, Xianyao finally felt that her mother really controlled her marriage too much. She cried and complained about her mother's various things, but her mother blamed herself to an asthma attack after hearing this. However, what Xianyao didn't expect was that Wang Mingxian ruthlessly didn't even look at it after learning the news. After feeling cold, Xianyao finally decided to agree to the divorce. I agreed to divorce. The man changed his mind and insisted on divorcing his wife, although he was reluctant, but the wife could only reluctantly agree. But what Wang Mingxian never expected was that divorce was not as simple as he thought. In order to treat her mother's illness, Jiang Xinyao proposed that the house belonged to her, plus 200,000 yuan in alimony. Of course Wang Mingxian would not agree. He couldn't accept that Jiang Xinyao wanted both money and a house. At this point, Jiang Xinyao was no longer soft-hearted. She made it clear that if it really didn't work, then see you in court. The first negotiations between the two ended in failure. A few days later, Jiang Xinyao revised the divorce agreement. This time she proposed to divide all property equally. The house, savings, including the car you drive, must be divided equally. Wang Mingxian said, you can't drive either. Jiang Xinyao said, you can give me a discount. I have to say that love is really worthless in the face of interests. But even if Jiang Xinyao made some concessions, Wang Mingxian still didn't agree to her conditions. It happened that at this time, the good brother Big Duckly was also divorced, and the other party actually asked him for 8 million. After some tossing, the Big Duck pair, which is a rich second generation, also shed its skin. Looking back at his small family, Wang Ming understood more and more that he could not get divorced at all. Although he was extremely reluctant and after thinking about it repeatedly, he finally gave up the idea of divorce. Okay, let's make do. You asked me to compensate you for the house I've worked so hard to pay. I really can't afford to lose. I'm not Li Xian. Every penny I earn is my hard-earned money, you should know. As everyone knows, he soon realized how stupid his decision was. If it weren't for Fang Ting's appearance, Jiang Xinyao would not provoke trouble everywhere at all, and the two would not have come to this point today. But now, she no longer wants to ask what the relationship between the two is. She still loved Wang Mingxian in her heart, so she also agreed to this make-do request. Knowing that Wang Mingxian chose to make do because he couldn't get divorced, Fang Ting was a little disappointed. Then do you think the broken mirror can be reunited? Even if it is reunited, can the crack be erased? The fact is also as Fang Ting said, although Wang Mingxian moved back home, but the two of them could no longer find the feeling they used to have. In order to prevent them from separating, Jiang Xinyao's mother moved into the house again and offered to let them have a child quickly. But the more deliberately they do this, the more uncomfortable they feel. And the current situation, in fact, it was all because of Wang Mingxian, but he never dared to admit it. Li Xian said, let me tell you Daming, in fact, your subconscious has already associated yourself with Fang Ting. Do you know what your name is? You call it mental cheating. Wang Mingxian said, mental derailment. Li Xian's words woke up the dreamer. After going back, he and Xianyao communicated heart to heart. After experiencing so much, Xianyao has also completely looked away. Since it is no longer possible to go back to the past, it is better to let each other go. In the end, they chose a peaceful divorce. It's just that Wang Mingxian would never have thought that he had just lost his marriage, and in the blink of an eye, he would lose his career by the woman he admired the most. A few days ago, Wang Mingxian was worried that he was getting deeper and deeper, so he proposed to the leader to transfer Fang Ting to another group. After learning about this, Fang Ting was very angry. She felt that Wang Mingxian was an insult to her by doing so. This incident also dispelled all her good feelings for Wang Mingxian. In order to retaliate, she deliberately deleted Wang Mingxuan's text message asking her to help ask for leave, which also made the leader mistakenly think that he was a free and irresponsible person. He was eventually removed from his position as manager. When he learned that Fang Ting had come to take over his job, he instantly understood everything. Fang Ting didn't want to become a mistress in the mouth of others, so she could only get rid of such a notoriety by framing Wang Mingxian. Wang Mingxian said, I really didn't expect that you would use my trust in you and my feelings for you for your career.